Alrighty, alrighty. Alright, ladies and gents, we're gonna be doing a movie review. Let me go ahead and change something real quick. I will be right back. I'm gonna change a little text here to, or add a little text. But anyways, thank you for those of you who are joining in. I'm gonna put this up and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so let me get it back on and Rumble here, see if we got anybody popping in the chat real quick. Okay, so we're good on live on Facebook and all that stuff. I wanted to do this first, and after a few minutes, we're going to go ahead and hop over to Rumble exclusively. So those of you that are on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, you feel free to comment while you can. But again, in a few minutes, we're going to hop over to Rumble exclusively to start watching the film. And well, that's just because I don't want to get nixed off of YouTube. Rumble will let me review the movie the way that I intend to do it. So if you want to partake in that and watch this movie with me, I mean, we're gonna of course be intermittently pausing and discussing during the viewing of it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a review, and that wouldn't be considered fair use. But as far as fair use goes, Twitch and YouTube don't really honor the clause of fair use in its fullness, and I've known that ever since middle school. I don't know if you've ever been somebody to watch those funny videos called YouTube poops, but let me tell you, somebody could alter, say, like a Viacom product like SpongeBob SquarePants. They could take an episode like that and they alter it, physically and audio wise to where it's a completely, there's no way that you could see the original content and grasp anything of the original plot or anything, except for of course watching it before. But it just really leaves people that want to do an honest review, especially for videos and movies that are available to the public for free, for goodness sake. Like this film that we're watching is available publicly on YouTube, Tubi. I guess you can't really count Amazon Prime Video, but it's available on there for free, included with a subscription at least. But I mean, it's fair use, plain and simple, and only Rumble will really honor that into its fullness. So that's why we're gonna go ahead and hop over to Rumble exclusively. Got my one eye is getting pretty friggin' lazy, it looks like. But anywho, that's what we're gonna be doing. So again, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, please. By the way, let me check. Facebook has been starting to raw dog me a little bit. Excuse the language there. But Facebook, I've had enough trouble in the first place with, see, yeah, it won't let me. That's so crazy. It won't let me change the audience away from being only me. So streaming to Facebook doesn't do jack diddly. That's so ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. I can go to the live video manager. I can go to distribution, and it's crazy. Facebook is just, it wants to be so independent. It really does. But, it's crazy. because you can set up all the things, polls, questions, but you go to distribution, you go to clips, all these things. It's not evenly balanced at all. How ridiculous. So anywho, yeah, Facebook doesn't even count. So for those of you that are on Rumble and Twitch, well, I guess you're the only source of potential viewers to migrate over to Rumble anyways, and I don't have much of a consistent following anyways, but this is still just for fun. I mean, if you happen to be stopping by and you want to see me review this evangelical horror film, what's been described, I mean, it probably has some good qualities. I've seen a lot of reviews, not just Reddit, but on the YouTube comments of the film and on the IMDb page, people saying that this movie absolutely traumatized them because they would go to like their summer Bible camp in the 70s and the 80s, and they were shown this film at as early as like 7 years old, and so they were like, oh wow, I'm going to have to accept Jesus into my life out of complete terror because they were scared, and that's not how Jesus wants you to come to him. you know we're supposed to revere God, and that's a healthy sort of fear. That's out of respect, out of acknowledgement, knowing, acknowledging the fullness of his character and his sovereignty, acknowledging that he's in control and that he's on our side. He doesn't need us, and he doesn't need us to do anything. He made the way for us to come to him, and it's an invitation, and there should be comfort in that. But when you show a film like this, there's definitely some bad strings or bad punches made, things like that, and part of it's because of the whole Jesus Revolution thing. People were, some of it might have been related to drug use formerly and stuff, and the evangelical push, like, oh man, we really need to save the youth and things like that. It was a totally different push of trying to get young people into the church, and one of the unfortunate things that came from it was, of course, like the demonic scare era of like the 80s and stuff. I think this is probably like one of the earliest instances of it. But again, I mean, this film, it has biblical narrative from what I understand, and so I want to give it some fair praise where it deserves praise, and we need to criticize where it needs to be criticized and acknowledge things that should have been done better or not done at all, or maybe just the whole cadence of the thing. Like, well, what should have been the artistic angle on this to where maybe it shouldn't have been a horror film, and that might have been the big thing. Is like, should an evangelical film really be a horror film? Are we really supposed to be instilling fear? Not really the fear of God, because the fear of God, when it comes to the biblical sense and being welcomed into his presence and his grace, if you're doing it out of terror and you're terrorizing people by letting young children and very impressionable or people that have never really heard the gospel story before, if this is their introduction to the Christian way, they're going to get a totally bad perspective on what being a Christian is all about. So if that's something you're interested in joining along with me, go ahead and click that link in the description, or go make your Rumble account for free. And there's an affiliate link in the description. It would help me out if you click that. But if you have a Rumble account, you want to make your free account, go ahead and follow me at Official Forrest Guptill on Rumble, and we're going to start streaming on there in just a minute. And I'm going to just double check a couple of OBS settings here before we hop on over. Make sure that I got everything in the right places here. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, and the film's going to be off to the side. I didn't want to have the film, full screen and everything to make it be like, this is the movie viewing. I'm going to have it off to the side, altered a bit. This is a review, so expect it to take a bit longer than just watching the film straight through. So, I mean, you could probably skip ahead or whatever, and then rewatch it later, whatever you need to do. But without further ado, I think we're going to go ahead and make our migration over to Rumble. For those of you that want to watch it, I suppose I should probably at least make I should probably share the Rumble post, since Facebook is shadow banning me for simply live streaming to them. Absolutely ridiculous. Facebook is really getting on my nerves, because Rumble is gone, the support team for Rumble Studio, they email within the same day usually, and they have feedback for me, or they tell me what they're going to attempt to do. They either give me a timeline, or they at least tell me that they're on the thing that I'm asking about. And one of the things was not being able to stream to Facebook in the first place at all. And then it became, well, now it was putting it as private, and or no, it was I couldn't log into Facebook. It was like, click to sign into Facebook, and I got the red box error message, blah blah. And they're like, okay, well, our team's working on that to make that pop out thing work to where you can log in with Rumble, or to Facebook through Rumble, blah blah. And then as of like last week, even after these other updates to Rumble, all of a sudden, I'm pretty sure it's Facebook's deal now. I think it's Facebook's fault. Now when I live stream, and the live stream successfully posts to my page that I choose on the Rumble Studio, it says only me, as if it's private, and it doesn't even give me the option on Facebook's end to change the audience settings. And so it's getting on my nerves, not gonna lie. Facebook is full of jerks. So I'm gonna put let's go. Let's go. Just a friends. All right. Well, pardon me for just a moment. All right. So without further ado, we're going to begin watching A Thief in the Night. Hop on over to Rumble now, and I'll start streaming a little bit of it for the couple of Twitch viewers that we got going on. It looks like, just to give them a little taste. If they were like, do I really want to go to Rumble? Do I really want to partake in this, or is it pure garbage? It might be pure garbage. I didn't watch the film. I only watched the opening scene so far because it has my favorite Larry Norman song in it, and so it caught my attention, and I was like, oh, this is a full movie. I should do this later, do a little bit of background research and blah blah blah. So let's go ahead and fade over to this scene. Yeah, it's a very long transition if you can't tell. Alrighty, folks. I will see you over on Rumble side. God bless you.
Coming in from all over the globe, confirming it as true. To say that the world is in a state of shock this morning would be to understate the situation. The event seems to have taken place at the same time all over the world.